Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Nerd Haven podcast. Today, we are doing the finale or the end of Dexter Resurrection, episode 8, 9, and 10. We're going to just discuss it all. With me today, as per usual, John effing Aaron. John, how's it going, buddy?
Hello. I always appreciate being called effin, especially when it comes from my friends. So thank you. Thank you. I earned that title and I will gladly represent it on this global platform that we have created.
Oh, that was something.
What was that?
Kylo coughed. So he doesn't need a toy to disrupt us. Anyway, as you can hear, my wife has joined us today as well.
Hello.
We went through the
Her
journey.
name isn't Kylo. I would just like to clarify.
No, she was not the one that coughed.
Excuse me. It wasn't me.
Today is actually Veronica's birthday.
It's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. We need like some background effects. I don't know, something.
I don't know. You might blow our budget out of the water.
No.
But
We'll introduce a soundboard next time.
Yeah.
I actually have another audio interface with sound stuff, but I'm like, that's my travel thing. Anyway, John, I actually thought that we had done 8 and 9 already, and we were just going to talk about the finale, but that just shows you how busy you and I have been with Nerd Haven that I can't keep track of nothing.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Time just flew by, and during these RP seasons, we just get stuck in this constant stream of stress and duties that days fly really fast. And we basically stop doing anything else, that kind of fills our time when we're outside of those seasons. So we apologize for the schedule being a bit disrupted.
Yeah, we stopped. I mean, anything that we throw into it kind of changes plans, right? We were doing the MCU, and then all of a sudden we're like, we should do Dexter. And we only have like 2.
No, you were like, we should do Dexter.
Well, yes, I'm the one with the ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
Just today, he was like, let's do Game of Thrones.
No,
yeah. You
but that's
told
me
about that.
pre-planning.
Okay.
Because I know that this is coming to an end. We're then gonna do Captain Marvel
Is
and
it?
Endgame. Is it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Captain Marvel and Endgame is the only thing that we have left. And then we're doing Game of Thrones. That's it.
I'm excited.
Allegedly.
So you've never seen Game of Thrones, but I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, right? So are you familiar with anything?
Jason Momoa, Mountain, the blonde chick sitting on X,
Uh-huh.
Jon Snow, and Red Wedding being the end game of Game of Thrones. That's all I know. And zombies sometimes.
Alright.
Yeah. The funny thing about that is that like the Red Wedding is like season 2 or 3.
I think it's the second season, yeah.
Um,
Pretty early on.
And I just like John has these insane references of Game of Thrones, and we're not gonna get too much into it, but he's like zombies, dragons, this, and I'm like, that's only in it for like 1 season. That's only in it for like this other thing. But it's funny because that is the pop culture stuff. But Jonathan, Dexter Resurrection. I just want to say, let's just get it out of the way. Did you end up enjoying the way Dexter Resurrection ended?
I hated it.
Oh boy.
I hated it almost on a similar level, like Dexter the lumberjack and Dexter the shoot me in the heart and I'll die. Or will I? Yeah, I thought that this season had so much promise and it created such cool potential scenarios to explore. And I felt like this show just ended with so many unresolved events and so many unresolved characters, so many unresolved things. And the things that they resolved, they just resolved in the most pathetic way possible. We'll get to all the things that I hated, but I just want to express my disappointment with how things ended. And I feel like they could have been much better because I think that this season definitely had a lot of promise.
Holy shit. All right. Well, I mean, I guess I can't say that I'm surprised because I do agree with everything that you just said. I didn't hate it. I don't think I hated it as much as the original ending, the lumberjack ending. I thought, like you, that there were a couple of things that went unresolved, or that the payoff didn't really pay off that well. I thought the whole outcome with Angel was a bit of a slap to the face to the character. But with what it meant to Dexter, like, I guess there was a bit of a silver lining for that. But then we think about other things, like you and I have talked about Super Detective all the time, and how I've not liked her at all this season. By the end of the show, they did nothing to change that.
Yeah, she hit peak cringe. Like, I was kind of willing to defend her. I was willing to give her a shot, but it's like she had one thing, that fucking song, and that was just her entire character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that too. Like, towards the end of the show, I'm like, what was the purpose of the whole little dance number? Like, why? Like, were they trying to make it, like, funny? Were they trying to make her likable? Were they trying to, I don't know. I was telling him, I was like, I don't hate her, but I don't love her, but I don't like her. I had, it was like a mixed bag, I feel like, of emotions with her, just because, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about her.
Yeah.
She just felt, to me, completely out of place.
She did.
We are conditioned to adore the cop characters ever since the first season. You know, we have seen Deb, we have seen freaking La Guerta, we have seen Quinn, we have seen Angel. You know, we have seen Landy. You know, just amazing cop characters, complex and intricate. And this was just very strange. The whole New York PD department, I felt like it could have just been something in the background, and Angel should have been the main star of the show because he was amazing until
the inevitable, because we both saw it happening.
We knew it would happen. We predicted it.
We hoped it wouldn't.
It was the biggest fear of mine.
Yeah, exactly.
They would just give him unceremonious ending.
If you go back to a couple of episodes prior, John and I talked about what we kind of hoped would happen. We actually hoped Angel would kill Dexter. Like, that was what we thought would be the poetic justice. It didn't turn out that way, and then Angel dying was worthless, I feel. I know that
Completely.
I know that Dexter had like that emotional moment that confused even himself, like, what is this that I'm feeling, or why, or whatever. That was cool. I like that. Cool. But that wasn't worth Batista dying. I don't know. I just don't feel like it was, because it felt anticlimactic.
Dexter is not a psychopath. Dexter is not actually unable to feel feelings or passion or regret or basic human feelings. He just feels them in a bit of a different way, like in a subdued way. And I can understand, or I can relate to the fact that he sometimes can feel a bit confused or taken back by those emotions. But I kind of dislike how they're just turning him into this subhuman or non-human being that is just... He's like 60 years old at this point, and he's been in similar situations before. He should be very much fine with the fact that he cared about this guy that he met like tens of years ago and spent so much time with him and actually had some good time with him. You know, it's just completely natural. And I feel like the show is just reveling in the fact that Dexter is this alien that can sometimes have psychopathic tendencies, but then he's completely not, you know, then he's just a horny guy, you know, that's just immediately taken into the grips of any fancy lady, you know, that is into him. And he's like, ooh, I'm gonna have a nice session of cuddling with her or something. I want to keep things PG, you know, this is a Christian-friendly podcast.
Right.
Talking about Dexter, yeah.
We'll get to the non-PG part of this episode, but
so leading up to the finale, there were a couple of things that I really liked, and I think that you kind of touched upon one of the things, and it was the tension that Batista was bringing to the show. I feel most of that tension that we always get, like with Dexter, you know, that fear of getting caught, came from Batista, because I never gave a shit about the police. And even less so in the finale. The police felt so freaking useless. And Dexter went in and out and in, back into the building.
Mhm.
No police was ever alarmed or nothing. I was talking to Veronica about this, and she can chime in. I think it would have been better if the first time Dexter left and then realized he had to go back for Harrison, if he had to go through all the cops.
Yeah.
Like if he had to use his charm, if he had to sneak around, if it was actually dangerous for him, because it wasn't. He left, came back, and that was it.
Yeah, I agree. It's like the whole place was full of cops and not one cared, or not one, like if there was tension with the lady, right, with Super Cop, and her having the chance to see him, and because she saw Harrison, but she didn't even pursue Harrison.
I don't think she
Did she?
I don't think she happened to see him.
Okay, because he was like hiding from her
Yeah.
too. So like they weren't even spotted. It was like they were never even there. So they don't even know that Dexter or Harrison was there. So that to me was kind of like, okay, it made it almost too easy. Like I know there was other obstacles and other things that happened, but it felt too easy for me. Like it felt like, I don't know.
Yeah, like it could have happened in a warehouse and nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to create the tension by having like a whole freaking ballroom filled with cops, but it just led absolutely nowhere. It just made things even more cringe, in my opinion. And then the whole vault like standoff situation where Dexter was given a choice, either join me and basically do everything you have ever wanted with all the resources you could have ever used, and just kill this guy that is constantly pursuing you, or I guess do the right thing and act like a human because you're totally not a psychopath. So just don't kill this guy. It would be against the code or something. But Dexter never breaks his code, right? No, he
Right.
only does it on accident, like every season at least once.
When convenient.
He kill or just he kills his wife, his sister, and all his loved ones. Indirectly. That doesn't count. But killing Batista, who's like 80 years old, just retired, and basically this situation has no other better solution. This was a very weird situation to me. I don't know what I would do as Dexter. I don't know what I wanted from this, but I guess this was just
It just didn't
How do
hit
you
for
guys
you.
feel about it?
Yeah.
I feel like they were focused on the success of the show.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled the prequel show because I don't know why. I feel like that formula was actually kind of refreshing to go back to. They canceled the prequel show, and I think that they're like, okay, well, we're back with Michael C. Hall. Everything is moving smoothly. Fans are enjoying the show, so let's just keep it going. And I think that was a detriment to it. I feel like this would have been so much better as a one and done,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think that I mean, you can't ever tell a business not to make more money, right?
Yeah, because like I felt like with the first Dexter, like the original Dexter, I think it went on for too long, and that's what the problem was. The writing suffered, and the show suffered because of the writing, and it just got sloppy at the end. Like you said, the whole lumberjack. And are you kidding me? And like, ew, like the whole storyline with him and Deb, like kind of falling in love with each other. That's his sister. Like, stop being gross. Like they just started adding the most random stuff that is just like, okay, all right, the writing's getting whack. Where's this going? So if this would have been like a short series, right? Like just a one season, one off, like you're saying, it would have been much better. But again, yeah, it's making money on Showtime or wherever it's, where is it? Paramount. So they're going to be like, all right, well, let's keep going.
Yeah, I think now they're just going to stretch it to like season 2, a couple more serial killers, season 3, the New York Ripper. And it's just like, why are we doing this again? I thought that you had something really good going with the Batista storyline, and you just completely flushed that down the toilet.
I can appreciate when this huge studio wants to milk this cow that is Dexter. It's not like us as fans, don't want more Dexter.
Right.
If it's good, if it's well written, it is possible. But and I'm not saying that all the seasons that led up to this moment were just bad. I have, for example, very much enjoyed like the whole Isaac Sirko storyline, with Ukrainian mobs and Quinn's involvement during those later seasons. That was great. Even like the beginnings of Hannah, I found kind of alluring. The later parts less so. Or even like the whole Dr. Vogel situation. It was interesting. It was like a different spin, and I thought it answered some of the questions that I had. But then they kind of just went back on it, and it didn't even matter, and kind of wrote it off. So
Yeah.
that was a strange decision, and I feel like the show is definitely suffering from a bunch of inconsistencies, like Dexter killing the cop during the cold version of Dexter in Iron Lake,
Yeah.
and which completely broke his code. Like, he can kill this cop, but he can't kill freaking Angel. That's so weird to me.
I mean, and there was the moment that was like, the first rule is don't get caught. And I don't think that Dexter wouldn't have killed him, if I'm being honest. I think if he had to, he would have. But I feel like the showrunners are scared of taking risks. And I think with Batista actually coming out on top would have been too big of a risk for them.
It would end the show.
It would have ended the show, yeah.
Yeah,
because
sorry, just real quick to interject too. Like, I feel like his death was inevitable. Like, for it to keep going. Like, yeah. Like, if we kill Batista, if we keep Batista and Dexter goes to jail, like, how?
What now?
What now?
Yeah.
Like, we're just going to see Dexter in jail killing? You know what I mean? Like, how far
I think their
would that
original
go?
hope was to keep going with Harrison. And I don't think that worked out very well in the Reborn or whatever the hell it was called. But no, what the hell was the Code season called?
Original Sin.
Original Sin. Yeah. No, Original Sin is the prequel, right?
That's the prequel, right?
Yeah. Anyway, the one that with his son, I think that they were hoping they can keep the serial thing going with the son, and it wasn't working out. I loved Harrison this season, though. I think I've said that before. I think Harrison brought something different this season, that it wasn't like a mini Dexter. It was kind of an anti-Dexter, or what Dexter could be if he wasn't broken, and I think it was kind of nice to see their oppositions and characters. I think it was kind of cool. Other than that, I don't see Harrison being a main character.
I agree with that to a certain point, because I really enjoyed Harrison at the beginning. I enjoyed him up to the point where he was willing to give himself up, but then he just kind of gave up on everything, and he just was like, yeah, Dad, it's fine, that you killed my mother, that you killed, Aunt Deb, that you basically kill everyone around you. I'm just gonna be helping you, as much as I can. It doesn't matter to me the fact that I want to go to uni. Doesn't matter. I'm just gonna be, available to you. We're just gonna hang out. We're just gonna be like a normal family. All is forgiven. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and I felt like he shouldn't have gone this easily on him, and shouldn't have gone back to make the same mistake that everyone around Dexter does.
I agree, because early in the season we saw a lot of that contradiction and them conflicting, right? And I like that. I like that Harrison wasn't really taking it easy on him. He was, telling him what he needed to say or whatever. But that ended really quickly. And all of a sudden they're just, father and son, bestest of friends. It's like, that resolution came too quickly. And I think that actually happened with other aspects of the show as well. I think everything with the serial killer club, I think kind of moved really fast. I think that him with Dexter killing what's his face, Prater, is it called? At the end, I feel like that also felt anticlimactic. It just happened. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that whole part with Prater, I was like, there has to be something wrong with him. I think he's probably a serial killer too. So I had like my doubts and like some suspicions with him. But like him killing Angel was like, he got the first taste of killing or whatever. But the whole part with Harrison having protection, quote unquote, that to me was a good little twist. But this is again what I'm bringing up, that I felt like it was too easy for Dexter. Like this season, okay, it wasn't easy, but like
too convenient.
It was convenient. Yes, that's the word. It was convenient for him because it's like, we're thinking he's telling Harrison to be protective, like, like with a condom, right? He's like, here, take protection. But we didn't see. We just assumed that's what he was talking about. So then when Harrison pops out with the freaking needle and he injects Prater, I was like, oh man, come on. Like, I just felt like, yeah, it was too convenient. And I don't know. So I did notice something just real quick. So the Snow one, it was called New Blood, and it was called a miniseries. All these other ones are TV series.
Yeah.
So that, I don't understand why they made that a miniseries, but then not this a miniseries. If it's, I don't know. Like, they're probably going to keep it going, but either way. I just felt it was too convenient.
I think they were testing the waters to see what worked and what didn't. I
like the argument. Sorry, go for it.
No, go ahead.
I like the argument about convenience because remember how the season started? It started with Dexter being basically half dead, decrepit man that is that has aged, that has been through so much, severe operations, basically unable to like walk up the stairs. And over the course of a few weeks, he essentially experienced a miraculous recovery where he's back in peak form, just murdering people left and right, just, sneaking around as a crazy man, being able to essentially overpower serial killers in their prime. And that was just super immersion breaking to me.
Yeah, that was, as soon as the show was over, Veronica brought up how that was one of the biggest things that bothered her about the show, is how everything just came so easy for Dexter. And I mean, there's a couple of things that I was able to kind of defend, but it's still hard to defend the show as a whole because it is true that, I mean, this guy's smart and he knows what he's doing. Sure, we get it, but everything works out his way. It's like at some moments, even when something goes wrong, he already had a backup plan for it.
He's like a step or two ahead, and it's like, how realistic or how much can he get away with, and for how long? Like, he's still a serial killer. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, okay, yeah, he's killing bad people, but then are bad people redeemable because he's a bad person? Is he a redeemable person? Like, is that okay? Right? Because he's still breaking laws. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're rooting for this bad guy. At the end of the day, we're like, yeah, Dexter, he made it.
That's why John and I have said that the final resolution to Dexter is that he has to die. No matter how much we like the character. Because, yeah, we're meant to kind of root for him because we like him and he's likable. And that's part of the character, right? Like the charisma. But we're not supposed to be. And right. I don't know. I don't know how long they're going to keep squeezing this lemon.
Dexter is or has been the luckiest person in the world this season. Like, ever since the very beginning all the way to the end, where he freaking finds, I don't know, car keys to like a millionaire's yacht, and there is, I guess, no security guards. They would be like, wait, you're not Mr. Prater, you're much taller than him and you look completely different. Where did you get these keys? That is rather strange. I will not allow you to take this millionaire's yacht that you just found your keys in his office while you were carrying the bodies in his body bag, and you're definitely not bloody and like in a state that you shouldn't be riding like a millionaire's yacht. You don't even have a driving license for it, right? Well, we're not gonna check because it's nighttime and we need to go to sleep.
That's the thing, that I feel like Dexter's competence or his genius shouldn't be shown with other people's incompetence. Like, you don't need to tell me that everyone else is an idiot to prove that Dexter is smart. Everyone else can be competent as well. Everyone can be doing their jobs, and Dexter just has to go around it. But it feels like there's so many things that, like we talked about the police already. We talked about, some of the other serial killers. It's like, you cannot be dumb and be such a known serial killer on Prater's club. But why does Dexter automatically have the upper hand on everybody that he faces?
Yeah, and they even read Batista in this very regard for me, because Batista has been through Dexter fucking with dogs, fucking with La Guerta, fucking with everyone, and he at this point is 100% convinced that this is Dexter's greatest strength. You know, the fact that he outsmarts his opponents, and the
Right.
closer you get, the closer you're onto him, the more likely he will use everything he knows against you. And Batista was just like, okay, sure, yeah, let him discredit me all you want. I'm just gonna get myself caught by Praetor and I'm gonna die. Yeah, that will show him
Yeah, it's
that no, up until
no.
this point he was so smart and he did things so well, and then he just kind of dies.
Yeah, it like it's almost like the show was supposed to go for another like 2 or 3 episodes and they cut it down or something, because it's like how was everything going when Batista put his AirPods in the thing, right? Like as as silly as that is, it was a good move. He thought on his feet and it worked out for him. And that was one of the first times that I'm actually cheering against Dexter. Like I was happy that somebody got the upper hand on Dexter, and there was no payoff to it at all.
Yeah, I was actually surprised that Dexter didn't find it sooner. I was like, he hasn't cleaned his car in how long? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like how meticulous he is with everything else, and like picking people up and doing the ride share thing. Like he hadn't thought about that. He hadn't thought that Batista would leave a tracking device, or, you know what I'm saying? He threatened him, and he's like, I'm gonna find you out. Like,
yeah,
he knew Batista was onto him.
And I actually I appreciated that he didn't, because when you think about it, right, Dexter knows a lot of law enforcement stuff from the forensic side of things, right? But like from like the investigating and detective side of it, he only knows kind of what his father taught him. But with Angel, he had a whole nother bag of tricks, and I feel like kind of like what John was saying is they tied Batista into the incompetence of other characters to make Dexter look better.
Yeah.
And it was a little annoying.
It was very annoying to me. I really thought that this season could have gone to places, and we discussed this at the beginning when we were mentioning or comparing our kind of goals or desires or dreams for this season, you know, how we would like things to end. And this was definitely not on my bingo card for this season, I can tell you that much. But it was in my fear of this season, because I really wanted this to be the last one. I really wanted this to end on a good note. I really wanted this to give us, you know, the final flashback where Dexter just dies and sees all his victims and, you know, sees Deb and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy Brian. He was a great addition.
Yeah.
I'm sad we didn't get Deb, but I don't blame her. I wouldn't want to be a part of this anymore too. And Brian, of course, is always welcome. But they also didn't do much with him. Like he just kind of showed up to be like spiteful and then just vanished. If Brian shows up, it should be for the entire episode. Fuck Harry, you know, he's
yeah, like it should be a turning point, because these are all Dexter's consciousness talking to himself, right? So like I feel like if there's a turning point where Dexter is like, okay, I need to do this to save myself, to save my son or whatever, then it should no longer be Harry, you know? It should be a dark side of Dexter, which is Brian. And I think
it should be a reflection of actual's like Dexter's state of mind. Right? If he's feeling a bit too bloodthirsty, it could be Brian. If he's feeling kind of just and like on course and cognizant of his the list of his morals, you know, that
because
call the code.
Even when we saw Harry and I think he was like, get him or something like that, I was like,
strange.
Yeah.
That should have been Brian.
That should have been Brian. It definitely should have.
So hopefully they gear up for this next season to have Brian out more then. Like, you know, if he's going to try to, you saw that he took all the files. So he's going to look for all those other. He's going to keep
hunting.
Yeah.
I guess, I don't know. My hope was that Dexter would die, but since they're going to continue, they're not going to continue without Dexter. But what I am afraid of is that they're just going to rinse and repeat. And unfortunately, if you don't give us something new like what you were giving us and it didn't pay out, then I think you're going to lose the interest of a lot of people. So
I don't know.
we'll see.
At this point, I kind of stayed out of forums because I only checked during like the first episode, and people were just raving about it. And I
Right.
completely hated it. So I was like, well, this is, I guess, not for me anymore. So
That
I'm
is
just
true,
gonna let
right?
the nerds express themselves, and I'm gonna just talk about it here on the podcast.
I guess that's a good point, right? We need to think about like we don't make up the entire fan base. And just because we don't like it doesn't mean other people didn't. I will say I did like the ending that Dexter was kind of at peace with himself of what he is because of New Blood with his son and stuff like that. There was a lot of like Dexter second questioning himself, like should he be like this? Is he a bad father? Does he need to change for Harrison or blah blah blah? And I think what they did good on this one is that he accepted, and Harrison also in a way, they accepted they're different. And I like that they leaned into that. And Dexter, the look to the camera made me a little uncomfortable. But when he's like, I'm what you want me to be, I was like, I see what you did there because you're right. But I don't, that made me feel weird.
I never remembered wanting Dexter to be Deadpool.
Yeah,
and
he was
I
Deadpool.
definitely don't want it now after I saw that. So no, thank you. I don't want that.
I think it's
Bit too on the
because
nose. If he does like his signature wink, at the
Right.
end quickly, that's fine. But like, I am what you want me to be. What? So you read Reddit too, Dexter?
Yeah, because now I'm like, who were you talking to the whole time you're narrating? Like now that's what I'm wondering, because most of the time I thought it was internal dialogue. But so is he talking to himself? Like, I'm what you want me to be? Or is he talking to like his consciousness of like Harry and the other people, or Brian, like what you mentioned? Who is he talking to? Because he can't be talking to the audience. He's not Deadpool.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it, right? Because this whole time there is something mentally wrong with him, right? And we know that, and we see that by him seeing Harry, seeing Dokes, seeing everybody coming up who's dead already. Like has some psychosis issues going on. So yeah, at the end, who is he talking to? He probably is talking to himself. A little weirdo that we love.
Little weirdo that we love.
I mean, let's be honest. Michael C. Hall is an amazing actor, and he did a great job with what he was given, and he deserves every paycheck. And I will continue watching just because I adore the actor. And,
Agreed.
He really is great, and I'm also happy for Angel that he got his paycheck. I'm happy for Brian, and I'm kind of happy for Harrison that he wasn't a total distraction from the show like he was in the previous one.
Agreed.
I'm glad that they did something with him, but I kind of wanted him to die at the end of this.
Damn.
You know what? I thought they were
I
going
like
to do
broken
more.
Dexter.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do more with him, killing and suppressing the feelings, like of turning into his father. But they showed, I don't know if you remember the sit-in that he did where the super cop was, how like everybody was with each other at the same time. Like it was the super cop, Dexter was there, and Harrison was there, and it's like, wow, what a coincidence.
John hated that scene.
God, what a coincidence.
Oh
and it's like, okay, so it showed how Dexter showed no emotion while she was showing those pictures, and then Harrison was like cringing, and he's like, oh, like he has the way that he was raised. We always talk about this, the nature versus nurture, and how he was raised, his nurture was different than what he was around. Like Dexter was around all this death and around, like, it was okay because Harry gave him the code and he taught him how to do things or whatever to help suppress it and act or whatever. But Harrison wasn't raised like that.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the fact that is all of Dexter Harry's fault?
Ooh.
Because Dexter needed mental help.
Yeah.
But instead, Harry enabled him.
He was selfish in that.
And he taught him how to get away with the things that he got, and taught him an excuse to do the things that he did. But like what you said, Harrison didn't grow up like that with somebody that enabled him. And then when Dexter tried to, it was too late. Yeah. He already had his own personality and his own way of doing things.
Well, yeah, because Harry did it out of guilt. He felt guilty that he got his mom killed.
Right.
So he was like, okay, well now I'll take it upon myself to raise this kid and like make it up for him because I'm not going to send him to an institution because he felt too guilty.
Yeah.
Harry, damn it.
This is why I love the original Sin prequel so much, because it gave us yet another variable to consider. Freaking Brian, they adopted both of them, and Brian was already too far gone, and there was nothing they could have done. They tried, and I'm glad that they did. But I don't blame them at all that they were like, no, this is too much. Like, he tried to kill Deb, and we can maybe still help Dexter, but
it was sad, but yeah.
That's the very last best thing that we can do for kind of both of them, right?
Yeah, I think another thing that I liked about the prequel series is that it gets even further into the generational trauma, because we understand that Dexter was fucked up from when he was younger. Harry didn't help. Now we thought that Harry would have been kind of fucked up too, but he actually did or was raised by someone that taught him differently. So it's like a break in the chain, breaking the cycle.
Harrison,
yeah.
I do like that. Breaking the cycle is the perfect analogy for that.
But when they touched on those issues, they pulled back. It's like lean into it. Just lean into these psychological issues, because that's what Dexter's about. He's got mental problems, and so do a lot of his eventual victims.
So back to the super cop. Like, she didn't cringe. There's just some people who don't like cringe. They don't have any emotions when they see crazy looking pictures and like scenes, crime scenes and stuff like that. So it definitely shows that she clearly had a mental illness, like whatever.
And we don't really know anything about her,
right? And then it's on a spectrum, right? So Dexter's on one end doing all the killing, that version of the spectrum. And he like has no emotions towards it. Like, he just gets a release, after he kills someone. But he also has the emotion, like how you were saying, John, like how with Angel, he grew up with him. He knew him when he was a teenager, 17, 18 years old, or whatever it was, his 20s when he got out of college.
19, I think.
Yeah, that's like early teens. That's pretty much his whole life. He knew Angel. Like, there would be something wrong if he didn't show emotion or didn't show, that he cared for him. And at the end, like, Angel's feelings were, they were right. Or, what I'm saying? Like, they were warranted because he's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Like, Angel's the hero we deserved.
Indeed. This entire season, the show tried to convince us that Dexter really cares about his son, Hey, he may have shot me, but he's my son. I will do anything to protect him. Like I did with Deb and like I did with all my other family members that I killed. But that's besides the point, because he's my son and I really care about him. And nothing bad will ever happen to him except he almost died because of, what Dexter did.
My actions,
But, you are absolutely correct. Like, Angel was like his family at this point. Like, I don't think, and we even saw it. Dexter was unable to kill him, and Dexter should have gotten arrested by Angel or killed while Angel was present, and justice should have been done. And the fact that they eliminated the prequel, that the original Sin continuation that had perfect writing in the first season of it, tells me everything I need to know about the continuation and the direction for the rest of Dexter, because they are not interested in good writing. They are not interested in exploring these, I would say, grown-up themes and subjects. They are just in it for the thrills, for Dexter just getting some more kills on the board, getting some more slides. We're not interested in having Dexter being like, I will stop killing. And I like that, because, we described that Harry is the embodiment of Dexter's righteousness and the code, while Brian is his bloodthirsty self that is just kind of unhinged. And Deb was the embodiment of restraint for Dexter. That's why we saw her in the Iron Lake, in the original Blood, or no, sorry, not the
New Blood.
First Blood. New Blood, thank you. And I like that. I like that there is logic behind who Dexter sees in his psychosis and during these moments.
Yeah.
Those are the cool parts for me of the show. Not like, hey, Dexter killed 5 serial killers in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I think, and one of the things that I wish they leaned into more is the fact that, the generational trauma, which is like Dexter's turning into Harry. or Dexter almost did turn into Harry when he was trying to justify Harrison, being the next him. And it's like, it didn't work because, first of all, Harrison wasn't a baby Dexter, but he wants him to be, almost in a way, because he wants to feel some sort of connection and he doesn't know how to. But I don't think that that's going to work out that way. And I feel like they're still going to lean towards Harrison either turning in Dexter at some point or being responsible for his death. And I don't know how to feel about it because it already didn't work.
I kind of love how Dexter just can't help himself and he's constantly looking for a companion, and it never works out for him. And
Never.
He's gonna do the exact same mistake with Harrison. He's gonna have him killed. But I don't think the show will actually do that. I think the show will be like, well, my father died and I will carry on his legacy. And
Yeah, like he was doing a service. I don't know.
Paramount Plus is in debt and we really need to get more shows out of this franchise because people still care about it.
I will continue to watch because I love me some Dexter, but I think overall as a season, I will say I enjoyed it. I don't think the payoff at the end did it service. I think it actually, kind of maybe dropped a grade or two by the end of it, but overall, I had a good time with it. What do you think?
Veronica?
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed that it was in New York. I liked that part. There was a funny part that he was putting somebody in the trunk. I forgot what he was doing. And he's like, somebody walks by and he's like, I love New York.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so true. Nobody makes eye contact. Nobody cares what you're doing. Nobody looks at you. Everybody's just minding their own business. So that part, it's funny. The show is funny without intentionally being funny. It's not a comedy, but the way that Dexter reacts to the way that he thinks, or how he says things certain ways, and
it's the charisma.
Yes, he's just hilarious, and it's true. Angel described him correctly and perfectly, that he gets everyone to love him, and he pretty much with lying, and like you said, his charisma. But yeah, overall, I did enjoy the show. I can't wait to see more. I'm just like, what?
Sucker.
Yeah, I'm like, what else are they gonna do? Where is this gonna go? Like, what else can they do? Really?
I'll tell you exactly where it's gonna go. Detective Quinn will show up out of nowhere.
Oh, Kylo.
Kylo's not a fan. Quinn.
Kylo fucking hates Quinn, and so do I.
Sausage finger man.
I wasn't very thrilled with seeing Quinn. I don't know. He felt weird to me. It just felt like if I was it felt like I was at Comic-Con seeing the actor.
Quinn aged like the movie RoboCop, It just sounds good in theory, but like when you watch those shitty effects, like that freaking robot who cannot like walk on the stairs, and like, RoboCop's freaking face whenever he has his Darth Vader moment and like removes his mask, it's just so weird.
Yeah, it is.
But we think of the good old days,
Yeah, nostalgia and all. I think he said something about what's his face, the Asian guy, Masuka.
Yeah, he was in the first episode too.
He said something about like, I can't stand another second with Masuka or something like that, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
So yeah, you know what? You're right, John. They might introduce him, and he's gonna go look into what happened with Angel in New York. So then now, is Dexter gonna stay in New York? Where is he gonna go now? He's not gonna go to Miami.
He's on this millionaire's yacht, He can
go anywhere.
Head over to Miami in no time. He'll be there in a bit.
He's just gonna go hunting wherever the serial killers
Hunting for serial killers. Yeah, I hope he gets the fat guy. That was just
the ponytail
bicycle people.
The ponytail guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the ponytail guy.
That's
Rapunzel, right?
Yeah, Rapunzel kill the ponytail. Yeah, that guy. He's hilarious. He's funny. But I was like, okay, I didn't care enough for these serial killers, honestly. Like, were they just trying to do like fan service?
I only like Jessica Jones, and then they killed her off.
I like the twist that she wasn't killing predators, that she was just killing innocent people.
And I did like the Gemini twins. That twist.
I
thought that was cool. But I thought that it was gonna last a bit longer. That mind game, but it didn't, because again, it was super convenient for Dexter.
Right.
But anyway, John, I think
Let's talk about the one silver lining of this series, involving my one of my favorite characters of the entire show, which is of course Gigi Jones, the retail worker that was introduced only like a few episodes ago before the show ended. But I think she stole the show. I think that I am just so glad. I M9, you might remember this and you might appreciate this, but I brought it up that I always appreciate that Dexter gives us at least one like creepy shot of like a nice girl's boobs. And he
yes,
does
you
that,
did,
and
it
I'm so
did
proud
that.
of the show.
And it did that.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, when she was in bed with Harrison.
Oh, the
And
girlfriend?
and he had his mouthful of her, as she so eloquently
Oh my god! I
described.
didn't even notice the boobs.
It's I guess you're not a dude, you know.
Oh.
We were all paying attention for you, and we definitely studied every picture.
Oh my god.
I feel like her character was so useless.
Yeah.
I liked her introduction, what it meant for Harrison, but there was why?
Well, yeah, I guess it was for him to get over the other girl.
Yeah, and that's why I hated like everything about this, because like I thought they were just going for the romance, with the girl next door that has a son that he's been carrying. That completely vanished. Like at the end of it, like nothing happened from that. Like
it did
no
not
one
matter.
gave a damn about like the last 2 or 3 episodes. Like it just completely stopped being a thing, and all of a sudden Gigi comes in and saves the day. And like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like in like an RP when like one RP relationship doesn't work out, you move on to another.
It stops logging in, and then you just completely move over. It happened to me this season.
It did happen to you. That's why I mentioned it.
Okay. No explanation. Just moving on to the next.
No. Anyway, there was a lot of story elements. I would say that that had a lot of potential, and then they were either dropped or replaced by something else. And I mean, I guess that's what you do as writers, right? To see what sticks. But I don't know.
It's like they were trying to pander to the audience, and they were just changing things last minute. And they had like one writer wrote like 3 or 4 episodes, and then another one just stepped in and was like, "No, we're doing things differently." And then the just a completely new writer finished the series, and it was just strange.
Yeah. Well, John, I guess this is it for Dexter Resurrection. Do you have anything else in your notes that you want to get off your chest?
Peter Dinklage is a very good actor, and he really makes me excited to watch Game of Thrones, because I do believe he's definitely present over there.
And he is absolutely amazing.
You're going to love him. He's going to be one of your favorite characters. I'm telling you right now.
Is it because he's short? And so am I. That's a low blow, Veronica. And I appreciate it. I respect you for it.
I don't even know your height, but now you're telling me you're a short king. That's wonderful.
I thought the entire internet knows of my Napoleon complex, not being a coincidence.
Oh no, but you'll see. He's
a lot of depth in that character.
Yes, there's a lot of character growth and oh my god, very very good development with that character in that show.
But I'm really excited for you to actually witness his acting in that scenario as well. But yeah, I think that we are pretty much done here. We 8, 9, and 10, and we just kind of had a good final discussion. Is there anything else that you want to say, birthday girl?
No, that was it. Thank you for letting me join my favorite nerds. This was fun as always. And I hope to join you guys on one of the Game of Thrones ones.
Yeah, I really wanted to force John to do like a on video reaction.
Oh.
But I'm going to save him the pain of going through that. And I think it would just be easier for our schedules if he watches them whenever he can. We watch them whenever we can. And
wait, so you wanted me to like put on my webcam and just zoom in on my face and just like study my face reactions?
Yeah. Because that's the big thing on the internet now.
And the thing is too that there are some shock in the first episode. There's some shocking shit. So just in the first episode, it'd be great to see your
People
face.
like watching other people watching shit, John. Did you not know that?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're weird.
But here's the thing. Game of Thrones is full of a lot of political, or I was going to say political roleplay, a lot of political stuff, a lot of dialogue and things like that. So it's...
And sex, from
and-
what I heard.
and sex,
Which
Oh
is
my
definitely
God.
not something you want me to react to.
No.
It's very gratuitous.
And
face.
also, I mean, but if you watch Spartacus, you're not going to be a stranger to that. The
Good point.
it's I don't think it's very reaction like worthy, because a lot of the times you're just kind of watching and listening and being immersed in the scene. So I think for the sake of this, we'll just do like Dexter. We'll watch episodes, we'll get on and we'll talk about it.
Wonderful.
But
In that case, I will start watching, and after I'm done with the first episode, then I'll let you know, and we can do like... I think it... I don't know how long the episodes are. If it's
they're
like
usually
45
about
minutes.
50 minutes, right? Ish.
Yeah, about an hour.
So one episode per podcast, unless like it's an uneventful episode, like we did with the Dexter.
Like we did with
episode.
Dexter sometimes. Yeah, we just grouped them
Mhm.
up. Because there's definitely going to be very, very heavily eventful episodes, or like something is happening over a couple of episodes, so we can just talk about it all at once, or we'll play it by ear. But if you guys have been staying tuned to our Dexter Resurrection stuff, I'm even more excited for Game of Thrones,
Mhm.
and we'll see how it goes.
Yay.
Well, I'm terrified. I feel like I'm gonna hate it.
I kept telling John that I feel like he's gonna really like it. But I think he has like this idea of what it is, and he might not be liking that idea. But I'm like, I don't know. I think you're really gonna like all the political espionage and shit,
Yeah.
like the backstabbing, the all the chess pieces moving all over the fucking realm, and all this stuff, and how everything comes together. I think you'll really enjoy that. There's a couple of things in it that you might not enjoy, but I think some of the relationship stuff too you'll like, because you're mushy like that.
You're making me excited to watch it again. I'm excited to watch it again. Is that third time?
Third time.
Speaking of chess pieces, I'm definitely curious about Emilia Clarke's chess piece. That's definitely,
Oh, Lord.
quite well known
Here
on the
we go.
internet, so cannot
Here we
wait
go.
to see it in action.
Yeah.
It's so funny because it's very gratuitous. It's very
It
gratuitous.
is. But it's like
But-
medieval times. What
What do you expect?
Yeah.
These are the times to do it.
Well, I promise that I'll be a big boy about it, and I will definitely make many notes and be very analytical. And
all
try
of the
to,
disclaimers also for every episode.
Okay. Hopefully,
And-
I will not insult any cultures while having podcasts about the show.
Sorry.
Also, don't get attached to any character. I'll tell you that right now.
That much I know. Yes, that much I know.
Yep. Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
Lots of permas.
Lots of permas, yeah.
Mhm.
All right, John. Well, thanks for hanging out. It was a really fun discussion. Thank you for the birthday girl for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we will see you all next time with Captain Marvel. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Finally, some good freaking cinema, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out. And we
you
will
for
see you
having
next
me.
time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.